Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Talk Kashrus, presented by the Kashrus Awareness Project in conjunction with Torah Anytime. Today we are privileged to be joined by Hagoin R Shmuel Fuerst, Dayan of Agudas Yisroel of Illinois. Thank you again to Rav Fuerst for being here. We previously spoke about the Kol Korah that the Rav signed regarding home businesses, making sure that home businesses have hashgacha, a reputable kashrus supervision. I'd just like to touch on one component and one challenge, you could call it, that home businesses deal with, and that is the halachos of Challah. Many people are not familiar with the halachos. Some people don't know the details. They know you have to take off some portion of the dough when you're baking something, but they don't know what qualifies as Challah. So just, if the Rav doesn't mind, to touch on a few of those halachos, and specifically, I know that there's an interesting psak from Rav Zalman that the Rav shared with me before regarding Challah that maybe people don't know.
I'll mention a few halachos of Challah people aren't aware of. First of all, the chi of Challah is only when you have a Challah with a bracha, is only when you have a certain amount of Challah. The extent of most poskim is 5 pounds. That's the extent of 5 pounds. Then you should take Challah with a bracha. However, if it's less than that, then you take without a bracha.
When the Rav says 5 pounds of flour?
5 pounds of flour. 5 pounds of flour. You know, before you put the water in, before you put other things in the Challah itself. So if you have a big Challah of 5 pounds, you have to use a full bag of 5 pounds. Less than that, most places can hold you take off without a bracha. Sometimes when you take, but if you use it, but how much do you have to flour do you have to use to take off Challah without a bracha is a machlokes in a poskim. The Chazon showed 2 pounds 10 ounces, and that's many poskim seem to hold like that. So anything more than 2 pounds 10 ounces should be taken off without a bracha. But if less than that, you don't have to. Many housewives, if they don't have big families or a lot of guests, they a lot of times they make challah less than 2 pounds 10 ounces. So in such a case, you don't have to take challah at all. Now the question is, sometimes you bake a small cake, but sometimes you make 3-4 small cakes, then you put it together in one bag. So all together now it equals more pound challah. Then even though you baked it at different times, but now it's all together now, even though it's baked already, you have to take off challah then. People are not aware of that. When it comes Purim, sometimes people give, it's a chance that a lot of people bake cakes, they don't have a shir challah, and they bake it, and now you put it all together in one basket, and then you have a chi of challah. So the housewife who bakes many different cakes at different times, now they put it all together, then there's a chi of challah then. That's one thing people aren't aware of. Also, people think that challah is only from bread, from challahs and bread, and not from cakes. Even though there are shitas like that, but the sense of most poskim is a chi of challah on all cakes. Any type of cake, you have to take off challah. What happens? So if it's a dough, it's no problem. You make the dough. When you finish making the dough, you take off a shir challah. However, what happens if it's a batter? Some cakes are batter. When do you take off shir challah? It's a machlokes in the poskim. L'chatchila, a person should take it. Then, if it's only batter, we tell people, like in many stores I know you get that, we tell them to take off after it's baked. Mm-hmm. So what they do is they bake, let's say a store that bakes a lot of cake. So we tell them to make a small little cake, and that they use for challah. It's all together, and stuff it all together. That's the best thing to do. There are shitas that hold even when it's a batter. Also, you could do it then also. The Avnei Nezer holds it has to be only after it's a batter, when it's already baked already. Mm-hmm. There are other shitas where Moshe held even when it's a batter, you could take off challah then. So
and then what do people typically do with it?
Once you take the batter, you put it into a small little pan, and then you put that batter in the pan, and you bake it, and then you throw it out, and that's it.
And what should people typically do when they take off a piece of dough, and now they took that off as challah?
Well, most of the time, they burn it. It's the best thing to do when you ever burn challah. It's very hard to burn challah, especially if it's a ball. It doesn't burn through and through. So I advise them to take and make it flat. Mm-hmm. Make it flat, have it flat, and then after burn it. And usually you can make the whole thing. So like this, you don't avoid the problem. It gets completely charcoal at the end of the day.